this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and in this episode, which I'm actually kind of excited about, I got an all-new dehydrator to share with you guys. Now this is the dehydrator you're going to want to buy if you've been waiting for an all-stainless steel dehydrator under $300. That's simply amazing. The all-stainless steel dehydrator that I use in my kitchen is like $1,000, and it's also 10 trays, and this one is actually 10 trays. But this one's like 1/3 the price. That being said, the one I use is made in America. This one is made in PRC. That's People's Republic of China. But in any case, it's being imported and sold by and distributed by Samson Brands, a long-time health appliance company. You know, they've been selling the Samson juicer for many years. I've been selling their Samson Silent dehydrator for many years now. That actually won my test for being the quietest dehydrator out there, which is amazing. I've actually had very few problems with the Samson Silent dehydrator. I've been selling that for a few years now. Very high customer satisfaction. That is a plastic version, but you know, I think it's definitely worth the upgrade to the all stainless steel version if you guys are looking for one. And in this episode, what I'm going to do is we're going to show you guys more about the Samson Silent 10 tray stainless steel dehydrator, some of its features, some of the things you might want to know about it, how it compares to maybe other units that are out there, how it's built, how it's designed, and then actually at the end of this episode, I'm going to be dehydrating some stuff for you guys to show you guys actually how it works. Anyways, on with the show. First thing is, this is it right here. This is Samson Stainless Steel Silent Dehydrator, and it's 10 trays. Like if you see this, there's like a glass cover. It's not, the whole door is not all glass. I wish it was all glass. It kind of looks nicer, I think. But they actually have stainless steel, and then glass, and then stainless steel. And then if we open this door up, it's just has these magnetic catches. You guys can see we open this up, and then we got the 10 beautiful stainless steel trays on the inside. And this is what they look like right here. Now these are actually oversized trays. These are actually larger trays than what's in even the standard Excalibur or my stainless steel Excalibur. And actually I want to measure this dehydrator for you because it actually is kind of large, and you know, this is a huge machine, right? When it comes shipped to you in the shipping box, it's around 50 pounds. It's a big box. It's not that heavy. I was able to lift it, of course, myself. But if you're, you know, if you can't lift 50 pounds, hey, get a friend to help you out. Once you open the box, half the box is basically the stainless steel trays, which are actually quite heavy. And then the unit itself is actually kind of light. And I do like that on the sides. I don't know if you guys can see that here. On the sides, they actually got these nice handles built into the stainless steel case here. Once again, this all the sides, the top, the side, and I don't even know. Let me check the bottom here. The bottom is not stainless steel, but the sides, the top, and then the bottom and the back are like maybe a galvanized metal, but all metal. There's no plastic inside this juicer, inside this dehydrator, other than the control panel here. So that's really nice. And any plastic that is used in this dehydrator is BPA-free, for those of you guys that are concerned. Let's see, they got nice louvers on the side. I think that's just kind of for looks. I don't think that really does a lot. And then, oh yeah, I want to measure it. So we got a tape measure here. And I'm measuring this unit because this guy is fairly big. Let's see, side to side, it looks like it's about 17 inches wide. And then the tall, including the feet on the bottom that allow it to stick up maybe a ½ inch. It's about 16 and a quarter inches tall and deep. This guy is deep. It's actually kind of amazing. Wow. It's about 21 inches deep. So this is a substantial dehydrator. Maybe not the best for you guys if you guys have like a small apartment, but you're going to be able to dehydrate lots of stuff in here. Actually, because it is 10 trays, and the trays are actually, let me go ahead and measure the trays now. Oversized trays. These are the largest trays on a home dehydrator that I've seen. Wow, it's 15.5 inches by 15.5 inches. So these are actually large oversized trays, and the whole 10 whole trays, if you were to fill all these guys up, you'd have 15.6 square feet of drying space, which is totally amazing. That's a lot of space. Now, the spacing in between the trays, since we're doing the measuring thing here, is about 1 1/4 inches. That being said, I really do like the rear flow dehydrators that have the trays, because check it out, if you want to dehydrate something taller, then just take a tray out, and then now you have about 2.5 inches of space in between the trays. That being said, generally you don't want to dehydrate things that are in big, large chunks because they're not going to dehydrate well. Generally, you want to dehydrate things that are as thinly sliced as possible, with which that could get as much airflow so things will dehydrate faster. That being said, while the spacing is consistent on all the trays, it is not consistent on the top. So the top tray, you know, instead of having the 1.25 inch, because of this little lip here, it actually kind of goes up once you get inside the dehydrator. But because of this front panel here, you're basically looking at, man, it's like 7/8 of an inch. So it's like almost an inch. But then once you get inside, it actually raises up. So, but if you can't get it in there to begin with, it's not going to help you too much. So that's a little bit of a design issue there. Now, all these trays went in really easy. You could slide them in and out really easily, except for the bottom tray. I mean, this tray is a little bit tight. When you push it all the way in to the back, it's a little bit tight, so I don't know what's going on with that. Let's go ahead and pull these trays out and show you guys what it looks like on the inside of the machine. Alright, so this is the inside of the machine. As you guys can see, basically on the bottom, it's really nice. You have actually a BPA-Free drip tray, and there's a little arrow pointing forward and backwards. Don't put it in the other direction. And so this is really nice. It's going to catch any crumbs, any drips, anything, so it won't get onto the bottom of the dehydrator. Now the whole inside is not stainless steel. It is actually, I think it's some kind of a galvanized metal pressed out, which is really nice. There's like no major nooks and crannies. It looks all like it's fairly easy to clean. And then actually there's some little holes on the side. I don't know if you guys could see that. I didn't see those before. But it's actually, this is a pretty good design, because actually the holes in the side will basically capture the moisture, which then will let the moisture out, come out the little louvers on the outside. So that's pretty cool. And now if we take a look all the way at the back there, we just basically have like a grid. I think this is like a galvanized grid. I don't know, it might be stainless steel, I'm not sure. And then we actually have a nice, let's measure the fan blades there. Looks like the fan blade is about 7 inches wide. It's actually a nice heavy-duty fan blade made of aluminum. And then actually we got this really nice fan shroud that really, I think, looks pretty nice, because actually a lot of dehydrators I've seen don't have a fan shroud. So that has a nice fan shroud to direct the air where it needs to be. And the heating element is actually behind the fan. So the fan is blowing the air that is already pre-warmed to the desired temperature. You know, it is computer controlled, that we'll talk about in a second, over the produce or the items you're dehydrating. It's going to basically evaporate the air off slowly. And so yeah, that's pretty much the inside. I mean, I will say that this is not like the thickest stainless steel. That being said, it is stainless steel. So I mean, I'm just impressed that for under $300, this machine is available. And actually, aside from just being under $300, it also has a 5-year warranty to boot, man. That's actually quite impressive for a machine at this price point. I mean, of course, if you want to buy the $1,000 stainless steel Excalibur, that has a 10-year warranty. But for a third the price and half the warranty, this thing's looking good so far. Let me go ahead and get these trays back in, and then talk to you guys more about what comes with the dehydrator and actually how you program it to use it. So now I want to show you guys actually what comes with the Samson Silent 10 tray stainless steel dehydrator. You know, aside from the main dehydrator itself and the trays that come in one huge box, you get a few other things. You get the instruction manual. I always encourage you guys to read the instruction manual. It just has various information on there on how to run it, how to program it, the features, all that kind of stuff. Let's see here. So there is a 5-year warranty on this. The interesting thing in this manual that actually you know, popped out at me was that it said something to the extent of, let me see if I could find it here. Oh. Attention, do not run the appliance for more than 24 hours in one single use. After 24 hours, unplug and let cool down for at least 2 hours before operating again. So I mean, yeah. You can only run this for 24 hours straight. Don't run it for longer. I mean, this is not a commercial device. If you want the commercial one, hey, get the Excalibur. I've run that. You could set that up to 99 hours to run continuously. It's actually insulated. It's actually quite heavy duty, quite nice, but of course it's actually rather expensive. But yeah, this one's good for home use. Most things should be dehydrated within 24 hours, provided you cut them up properly. All right, now aside from the instruction manual, you're going to get these guys. You're going to get 10 of these guys. Now these are, I believe, polypropylene. These are BPA-free sheets. So while you can put things on the stainless steel trays, they do have a nice grid. So depending on what you're dehydrating, that might actually drip through the grid. So for example, if you're doing tomatoes, you could just put tomatoes right on the stainless steel, no problem whatsoever. Even cherry tomatoes will probably fit on there, but when they're dehydrated, they might fall through. But then if you want to rectify that, you can just basically put this tray on the rack here, so that now you just have like a grid, so now things won't fall through. Once again, these come with it. You do not need to use these under every circumstance, and I will share with you guys later in this episode some other ways you could actually line your trays without using this exact matting. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so instructions and that stuff. Now some of the optional things you can get also at the time when you buy the dehydrator, you can get these guys. These are known as the non-stick sheets. All these things, the trays are reusable. The polypropylene mesh sheets, these are reusable. Just wash them. I like to wash them with a scrub brush. And then these guys are reusable. So these guys, what they are, they're the non-stick sheets, and they just go on the tray there. And then basically you could put things that are like sticky, gooey, and chewy on there. So if you're making raw food cookies, raw food crackers, raw food cookie dough, if you're making like fruit roll-ups, banana fruit roll-ups, strawberry roll-ups, whatever, you will want to get some of these, and you could reuse these infinite amount of times. Just make sure after you're done using it, scrub it down, wash it, and then let it dry out completely. I do not ever recommend submerging your Teflex sheets or non-stick sheets. That's not good. That'll cause them to break down sooner rather than later. Alright, so yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, this doesn't really come with a whole lot of stuff. It's just the dehydrator, and hopefully it's going to work really good. Next, I want to share with you guys how to program it. It's super simple, super easy. I guess we'll start off with plugging this baby in so you could hear what happens. Alright, so now we're going to plug this baby in, and when you plug it in, you're going to get that one long beep sound, and then a little button here, it says on off, is going to be illuminated in blue, and then there's going to be some dashes, some red dashes, and that is your little screen. There are only a few buttons to press on here, so it's not even that complicated to program. You got your on off, you got your temperature and time button, and you got a plus and you got a minus button, and you got the digital display that will show you what the set temperature or how long it's going to be run for. So basically, first we're going to go ahead and press the on button, and it's going to turn on, and now you could hear it. Do you hear the dehydrator? Like, it's on. Do you believe it? This is like one of the quietest, this is probably the quietest stainless steel dehydrator that I've ever listened to. Actually, we got my decibel meter, a good old Radio Shack, and we're going to go ahead and test this out and just maybe put it right here, and I'll shut up for a minute. Wow, so this thing is running. I know you guys could barely hear it. I could barely hear it sitting in front of you and sitting in front of it, and when my decibel meter is on, like, it's on the 60 setting and it's not registering, so that means this is more quiet than 60 decibels, which is actually quite amazing to me. So this has to be one of the quietest dehydrators that I've tested to date. Anyways, once you turn it on, it's going to run. And now the thing I don't want you guys to be alarmed about is when you get this dehydrator, once you turn it on for the first time and you smell inside there, it's going to smell like, I don't know, like a new kind of motor burn-off smell. So don't be alarmed. This is, the motor's lubricated, and there's just going to be a little bit of smell that's going to dissipate over the first few weeks that you own the machine. This is normal with some appliances from China. And any dehydrator actually can have some off-gassing, so be aware of that. So to program it, super simple, super easy. It basically defaults to 10 hours, and we'll just start the countdown. But we're just going to hit the button right there, the time and temperature. It's going to go to, it's going to tell you what the preset temperature is. It's currently at 158 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to hit the down button. And so this is not like, you know, an Excalibur dehydrator that you can control by the precise temperature, you know, by the exact temperature you want. There's only like, I think 9 preset or 8 preset temperatures that you can choose from. So for example, let's see here. The lowest temperature you could set this at is 95. You press it up once, it jumps to 104. So now you got 95, 104, or 113, or 122, or 131, or 140, or 149, or 158, or 167. Now, of course, if you're doing something like meat and beef jerky, you definitely always want to set it to 167. You know, it needs to be at the hottest temperature. But of course, if you're into raw food, something like that, we're going to go down. And let's see, a raw foodist might want to set it at 95. But what I want to tell you guys is that you guys always want to dehydrate it at the warmest temperature for the shortest amount of time, you know, to maintain the higher levels of antioxidants. That being said, some people are more concerned about the enzymes, and the enzymes, they say, start to degrade at 118 degrees. So in that case, you could set it at actually 95, you could set it at 104, or me, I'd probably set it at 113. That's still about 5 degrees below the 118 degree mark, but that'll give me the maximum amount of temperature, and then I could hopefully run the dehydrator for less time. Now, that being said, this does not have any special programming functions like the Excalibur digital dehydrators that have a 2-time 2 temperature. Whereas I like to maybe do the first 2 hours in the dehydrator at like 140 degrees and then drop the temperature down to like, you know, 111 or 113 degrees for the rest of the dehydration time. The reason for this is that, you know, right when you put whatever you're putting into the dehydrator, there's a lot of water content, a lot of liquid content. So even though the dehydrator temperature is set at 140, the food temperature is never going to get that hot because there's so much water evaporating off in the first 2 hours. After the first 2 hours, that's when I drop the temperature down and let it kind of coast out and do it at a much more mellow temperature for a longer period of time. Let's see, so aside from setting the temperature, which we got at 113, you press this button again and it'll go to the time mode. And now you can program this by holding the button down. It'll fast forward really fast by the half-hour increment to 23:30 up to 24, and if you press it one more time, it goes down to 30 minutes. So you can control this from 30 minutes to 24 hours straight, and then it's basically just going to count down to 0, and then the machine will automatically shut itself off so that you don't have to. The cool thing is, while this machine is running, you got a clear glass door, so you can kind of look in there and check the progress of what you're dehydrating. The only caveat is, I just noticed it, you could see 9 trays, but the top tray is up there, and you can't really see it too well because it's blacked out up at the top. So yeah, just you know, these minor annoyances about this machine. I mean, this is a lower price stainless steel unit, and so far so good, despite the lower price, despite some of the, you know, preset temperatures that you can't control exactly. I think that's good enough. But what I want to show you guys next actually is, I just have one of my magnets for my kitchen refrigerator actually, and I got a magnet here, and we're going to stick this on to the stainless steel. So this magnet sticks to the stainless steel in different places, right? And so I can say that on my Excalibur stainless steel dehydrator, the magnet actually doesn't stick to the wall of the stainless steel. Now, why is that? Well, some stainless steel is magnetic and some isn't, and you could ask a stainless steel scientist to learn more about that. But what I'll say is this: I'll say that in general, you know, more expensive stainless steel is not magnetic in general, but not always. And so that would mean that if this is magnetic, then this is probably a lower grade stainless steel, which doesn't surprise me. Just because it's stainless steel doesn't mean it's the same grade. So like, say for example, you live in Hawaii, you get this machine, right? And everybody knows that Hawaii, it's quite, you know, humid in the air, and stainless steel even rusts in Hawaii. So this would probably be a stainless steel that would probably rust in Hawaii, in my opinion. I haven't tested that yet. But the Excalibur dehydrator, which is a higher quality stainless steel, probably wouldn't rust, you know, in Hawaii. That being said, this is a good high quality unit, and so you shouldn't have any problems with it rusting unless you live in some kind of extreme oceanic environment with the salt water in the air and a lot of humidity in the air, right? But yeah, and then the other thing I want to mention is the 5-year warranty is on all the movable parts. So like the stainless steel would not be covered under the warranty. What would be covered are like the fan, the heating element, and the controls, which are all the main components that are more likely to fail, because generally, you know, the stainless steel, I don't see how that's going to fail unless you dent it or nick it or punch it. All right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the dehydrator in a nutshell. I think what I want to do next for you guys is actually dehydrate something in for you guys, and I'll show you guys the end result and how it worked. And check it out, man. Right now, the dehydrator's on. Can you hear it? I can barely hear that. It's amazing. Now, here's the thing. If you press the on-off button and you turn it off, it instantly blanks out to dash, 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 but it's still running. Don't be alarmed. Your dehydrator is not defective. There's a built-in safety timer that basically turns off the heating element, keeps the fan running a little bit longer to help cool the dehydrator off a little bit before it actually shuts off. And now it's actually fully shut off. So actually next I want to go ahead and get the pizza crusts batter that I'll be dehydrating, and we're going to dehydrate some pizza crusts for you in the Samson Silent 10-tray dehydrator. Alright, so now I'm ready to dehydrate for the first time ever in the Samson Silent stainless steel 10-tray dehydrator. That's a mouthful. And what I have today, if I had just in my food processor, what I made was a batter. And this is actually my pizza crust batter made with cauliflower. So I use like 2 heads of cauliflower in here with some macadamia nuts, some flax seeds, some sprouted watermelon seeds, some pepper, Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt and pepper, probably some other herbs and spices, nutritional yeast, and basically just got a mixture in here. And now we're going to spread that on the sheets. Now I can't just spread that on the sheets here, because this mixture is like pretty liquidy, right? It's like something like a consistency of like an oatmeal or something like that, and it's just going to actually fall through the hole. So I could use something like the nonstick sheets that I showed you guys earlier, that I would recommend for many people. But I don't really even like to use the non-stick sheets myself, although they're probably going to cost less in the long run. You know, I like to use something that's actually disposable, that is actually not made out of plastic, and what that is, that's these guys right here. So this is actually the silicone parchment paper, and we're just going to basically put it on top and line the trays with it. I like using the silicone parchment paper, number one, because it isn't the you know, the non-stick material. And then the other thing is that you know, you don't have to clean it pretty much, because this is disposable, so you use it once or maybe twice or maybe 3 times before it degrades. And then I basically shred it, and it goes into my compost pile to feed my bacteria. Fully compostable. And this is silicone, so it's non-stick. And actually, they did not come in this size. I actually cut them to size. And so I'll share with you guys where I get this. I mean, this stuff is available at like most like grocery stores, but you're going to pay a lot of money there. So actually I go to my local Sam's Club and I get this stuff here. I think Costco might also sell it. It's actually called the Daily Chef Non-Stick Parchment Paper, great for baking, lining, and steaming. And this is basically 15 inch by 164 feet, and that's actually the tray size is 15.5 inches, so it's like perfect for the tray. I basically just roll it out and cut it into 15 by 15 inch pieces. And yeah, 205 square feet. I forget how much this cost, but it was super cheap. It's made in France, packaged in the USA. Only recommend the non-stick parchment from France. Actually, they have some kind of patent on it, and it's actually quite good stuff. Now, I could just take this batter and just plop it on my paper here, but that would be no fun, because then I'd have all these random size pizza crusts. I don't want to do that. So what I got next here is we got this guy, and actually this guy is called a template. So I got a template here. This template is actually from rawsomecreations.com. My friend at Rawsome Creations, Brenda. Yeah, Brenda designed this and gets these made. And now you guys could order them. This one is actually designed for the Excalibur. It's a 14 by 14. Maybe if we're lucky, she'll come out with one for this size dehydrator. But nonetheless, it'll still work. We just basically put the template on top of the parchment paper. And if she made a new template, we could actually get a little bit larger circle. But nonetheless, this will work good. And let's see. Once we got it on there, then we just basically take I take like a spoonful of the batter dough and put it in each circle. And then once I got a spoonful, then I basically take my little spatula here. I press this down and crush the batter into the circle so it actually makes a nice even circle. And I think I even might have put a little bit too much batter in here. And then I basically try to make this pretty level, making sure I don't have any air spaces or air pockets. Alright, that one looks pretty good. I don't want to waste y'all's time, so I guess I'm just going to go ahead and pop down the next 3, and we'll come back at you when I'm about done. Alright, so I got that all flattened out. So now what we do after you got them all done is you're going to go ahead and remove your template. Oh man, I messed up. Alright, so if you remove your template, you're going to have actually 3 nice little round pizza crusts, or you could, if you did corn, you could do tortilla shells or whatever. And now we're just going to go ahead and set this in the dehydrator. And now I got a whole bunch of more shelves to fill up. So we're going to get the rest of these batter on trays in the dehydrator. We'll come back at you when I'm ready to turn the dehydrator on to show you guys the inaugural dehydration of the Samson Silent 10 tray stainless steel dehydrator. Alright, so we got the last tray going in, and I think I got a total of 21 pizza crusts out of my batter. Yeah, it took a long time. Now I get to dehydrate this bad boy, so we're going to just go ahead and close this up. We're going to go ahead and hit the on button. We're going to hit this button. It's at 158. We don't want to dehydrate at 158. We're going to go down to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Hit the time, and we're just going to crank up the time to, I always like to crank up the time to like the maximum 24 and let it count down. And you know, tomorrow I'll check it, and if it's ready, then I'll turn it off. These guys, sometimes I like to flip them actually. So actually, I guess we'll just come back at you tomorrow. It'll count down from 24 to wherever we end up, and I'll give you guys an update of what's going on in the Samson Silent 10 tray stainless steel dehydrator. Alright, so I want to give you guys an update on how the Samson Silent stainless steel 10 tray dehydrator has been working. It's counted down to 9 hours and 37 minutes left. So it's been running approximately, I don't know, 10 hours and 20 minutes. Let's open this up and see what we got inside. So I did earlier today flip these guys on the silicone sheets here, and basically this is what I got here. We got nice pizza crusts. Now if you're looking, John, that got some holes in there, man. You got some issues. Yeah, I got some issues. So that's not the dehydrator's fault. Actually, when I made this recipe, I deviated from the recipe that I had written down, because I always do that. I never make the same thing twice. I put too many, maybe like fresh bell peppers in there, which means I didn't have as high of a fat content, and it was actually a lot more wet than normal, which then when the water evaporates off, then it tends to crack. You can rectify this by putting in something like psyllium husks, maybe more flax seeds, and maybe chilling out on adding a lot of wet ingredients like it did. But nonetheless, it looks like it worked pretty good. We're going to go ahead and try one of these guys. At this point, we're just going to eat them as crackers. Definitely really good. There's definitely still some moisture in there, so I will let it go just a little bit longer. I mean, so far, so good. This dehydrator is working great, just like it should. You know, I feel the warm air coming out. It's not super hot or anything. The case, when running it at 113 degrees, is not, you know, very warm at all to the touch. And of course, this guy is super silent, which is just simply amazing. So yeah, I would definitely say that if you're looking for an all stainless steel dehydrator with stainless steel trays and low cost, and you're on a budget, this is definitely the one to buy. You know, will it take maybe longer sometimes to dehydrate stuff? You know, I got to do side-by-side comparisons to know for sure, but so far this is kind of like when I normally dehydrate this in the Excalibur. This is kind of how they are, maybe a tad bit drier. But nonetheless, this guy works and is an incredible value. If you guys want to learn more about the Samson Silent 10 tray dehydrator, please be sure to check the link down below in the description or in the comments section to learn more and purchase the Samson stainless steel Silent 10 tray dehydrator. Also, be sure to give this video a like. If you like this video, want me to do more videos with the Samson Silent stainless steel dehydrator compared to other dehydrators in the same video, give me a thumbs up to let me know. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on any of my new and upcoming episodes I'll come out about every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I'll show up or what new appliance you'll be learning about, so you can include more fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet. Also, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 500 episodes on this channel at this time teach you guys all aspects about and comparing different juicers, blenders, vacuum blenders now, dehydrators, and even actually nut milk makers, which are actually kind of amazing. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.